Hello, world. I hope I find you in high spirits and open to new possibilities. Welcome to Become, the podcast that pushes you towards your greatness. A perfect moment to rewrite those inner agreements that align with your current values and goals. Let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, today is a lovely Saturday in New York, but wherever you are in the world, I hope that you woke up in gratitude because you made it. See, conflict will always exist. And as long as you practice gratitude, you will always look into resolving, into being centered. And here's the thing today we're talking about control. A lot of this conflict that we come across, we cannot control. And the only thing we can control is how we respond to it. And I know it's pretty cliche nowadays. It's not about controlling the situation, but about controlling how you respond to it. Yes, it's cliche and it's also very valid. See, a person like myself who likes to be organized, I come across wanting to control everything, you see? And in trying to control is where I create nuance, is where I don't create the space to allow new information in. Ambiguity is okay sometimes so that you can see another version of yourself. And in this process, you get to discard what doesn't fit you or apply into your life what does. So let's talk about control. Control looks different for everyone. See, a person like myself, I have this strange relationship with time. And so I try to control how I go about time. Obviously, there's a method to it, there's a technique to it. But I do find that if I said I was going to do something at a particular time and I don't do it at that time, I can see those thoughts coming in, trying to trying to criticize me for not being exactly on time. Although I do value punctuality, I love being on time. I love getting to places and right away demonstrate that I respect people's time. I respect people's space. I respect my own time and space. And I respect time. See, time waits for no one. But if you're somebody who likes to be in control of other things, right, in relationships, in conversations, just anything that you believe you need to be in control of, I would say analyze why you like to be in control. See, often the control is coming from something deeper, right? And the deeper you dig, the more information you're capable of bringing out if you allow yourself, right? Because I understand when things get deep, we tend to run, right? We tend to look the other way because it's uncomfortable, right? But if you control, notice how you become tense, right? Notice how there is this idea that if you get this, there's this idea that if you have it under control, then you create peace and harmony. But if you think about it, it takes so much work to control that we don't realize that we get immune to not being at peace. And so we confuse it with being at peace because we're controlling, when in fact we're actually rigid and tense, right? And that's my experience of myself as well. I find that in trying to control, it requires a lot of energy. And I realize that it's not as fulfilling as I would like it to be, you see? Because if you think about it, let's say you want to be in control of a conversation, right? You want to be in control of how much information you share, although you feel inspired to share more or to get deeper. But you want to control this mask. I can't let people see deeper. I can't speak of this because then it'll make me uncomfortable or make someone else uncomfortable. I don't know. But notice that resistance right there is coming from us. We're creating that. See, we're sourcing that discomfort. We're sourcing that inhibition in just being full, And I realized that I'm also taking like a unique approach to this concept of controlling, because although I do think of control as it can be physical, right? It can be manipulative, you see, and it can also be positive, right? But let's bring it back to being in control of how we respond to things, right? As humans, we continuously grow and change. And if you're someone who is, for example, in seek of a relationship, you will be wise to know that you're going to have to put yourself out there, and you can't control how people see you. You can't control how people treat you. You see? And the reason I say that is because although you're an amazing person, you can't control if the person is going to see it or not. Right? And often we get stuck in there, and I'm speaking for myself as well. We get stuck in wanting to demonstrate why we're valuable in being in a relationship with us. And you can't control how people see you. You can't control how people see how smart you are, how intelligent you are, how nurturing you are, how careful, mindful, how talented. You can't control that. You see? So when we focus on controlling how we respond to our experience is then when we start to get a grasp of us, who we are, and where we're going. You see? So I would say, although I didn't develop as much in this moment, because I want to keep it for later, I really do. But it's a theme that has came up for me recently, and I think that I should speak on it because I think somebody needs to hear this. But I would say that if you find yourself commonly being in control, I would offer that you loosen up a little bit and see what occurs, right? Loosen up. Give yourself a chance again, you see? And you want to give yourself a chance with the mindset that you're not expecting for it to be roses and flowers. You're just open to experiencing, right? And then see what possibilities comes out of that. So if you're a controller, loosen up. And here's my challenge to you. Write on your mirror, don't be controlling. Straight up, just like that. I need you to see that every time you wake up or look in the mirror. Ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, this was a quick, brief episode for you controllers out there. Let it go, loosen up. And I know that this is going to stick with you. So, as I like to say, thank you for listening. Thank you for being present. And I cannot wait to talk to you on the next episode. See you soon. Peace.